Well, it's time for a walk around the yard, and we'll start here on the patio this afternoon. Actually, it's still morning. Well, it's just afternoon. Anyway, we're out on the Lania, which is dedicated to quite a few things going on here. We got some orchids. These are phalaenopsis that are recently come in out of the water. We got too much water around here. It rains every day. We had a little shower this morning, and everything got wet. So we'll be walking around here, take a look at how things are looking and what the status is of them. More phalaenopsis that have been recently repotted. And there's a cattleya over there. It's in a big pot. I don't want to get too much water in it because it's just been repotted. And here's a halfway house for polywogs. And the polywogs that are in here will go out into the big tank, as I call it, which we'll see a little later. Anyway, that's what they're doing now. They just had breakfast, and they're going to be moving, although they don't know it. The bigger ones in there is the ones I'll move out. I'll move some little ones in behind them. So there's some mangoes there that Sandy has picked, and they'll be peeled as soon as they ripen up. Anyway, that's the inside anyway. Now we'll go outside. We have this is a cattleya plant that I've had for many years. It's got three nice blooming spikes on it right now, and it's about outgrow that pot. So what I'll do is I'll cut off some of the outer growths and repot them elsewhere. There's a dendrobium up on the got a nice spike in it, and several blooms on it. It's dendrobium. Grows nicely there. Look at the root system on that. There's two of them there. Another spike coming out on the one on the left. And here's some of Sans geraniums that it's so hot here that they tend to spike out, spike high, and then the flowers appear nicer if they're closer to the greenery, but these aren't, so it's just not the time for geraniums. That second dendrobium orchid hasn't thrown any spikes as yet, but I expect it will soon. See how close up that's going to be. Beautiful little flowers. So, nothing much to see over here. We've got some hanging phalaenopsis that have just been repotted, and they're hanging from below the blinds. So let's go this way. See what we got here. Bushes are way up around the outside. This is a nodosa. It's a brassavola orchid. Had it for years, growing on a piece of cork bark. I guess you can see that. It's got a few little blooms on it. Very pretty little dainty flower. There's some more coming right here. And they'll be with us shortly. Here's another elephant's ear, as I call this orchid. This is it's exactly like the one we saw before. And it's in bloom. It has a couple of spikes on it. There's more spikes coming. When I said what I'll cut is right here, or right in here somewhere, I'll cut and bury this root system in another pot and pass that on to one of my friends. This is a dendrobium down here, a little alba, white model. It's got several spikes on it and some blooms. Another dendrobium that was given to me by one of my daughters a long time ago. It's called Burmese Ruby. Got some spikes on it, getting ready to bloom. One of them's already out. Deep. going over here, we got another hybrid orchid that's out of a pot, you see. Had to pull it out of the pot because it was overgrowing the little pot that was in. And when that happened, it wasn't long before it bloomed. And this one you see is a little bit different color. And see down here we got some, these are orchids, Cattleya orchids. They're a species orchid called Skinneri. And it'll be a while before they bloom. They're called the Easter orchid. Out here, we've got, as you can see, shaded from the sun, a lot of Cattleya type orchids. There's about 3 different species in there. And there's some Skinneri down the end. Skinneri. Down here you can see them better. There's Skinneri. And it comes out and there's an alba in there called Sierra Blanca. And a couple of Cattleyas called Mendocines. There's an orchid called New City, which I just repotted, and the mother plant over there that I replanted also after I cut that one off of it. That's a nice, basically alba, but a little bit of purple trim on it, orchid. So I made this shade area out of PVC pipe, and it's the only thing that'll hold up to the sun and the dampness. See, up there on the screen is a little friend of mine. He keeps the pollywog population down by eating them. That's his primary diet. And he's skitsy. Skitsy, skitsy. These are some bulbs of a plant that's bloomed in the spring, and the heat is getting to it. Now it's time for the bulbs to come out of the ground. Going out on the porch, let's see, I just rebuilt this deck. This little deck, which I saved some of it, but I had to replace the parts that are subject to the sun and rain because over the years they had rotted out. This is the final phase of the pollywog production. They turn to frogs in here, and the ones that are in here now are well on their ways to being frogs, and when they reach that status and they're big enough so that the geckos, the lizards, don't get them and eat them, then they can stay on their own. And the geckos gotta watch out that frogs don't eat them. It's a vicious circle, but it's a jungle out there, let's face it. Can't see much of them in there because the water's pretty deep, about a foot deep. And they're shy once they reach frog stage. They'll come up and they'll sit on the side, but you move a finger towards them and they'll just skitter. 3 minutes, 9 minutes. 9 minutes and 20 seconds. I want to show you this over here. A couple of years ago, I plunked this thing right in the middle of the stump. And it's like the orchid you see inside. And I don't know if you can get close enough, but there's ants eating the nectar that comes out of those bulbs. An ideal place for it because medium sun because it's shaded by the other trees. And this is the first time it's bloomed so nicely. I see it's got another little shoot coming up there that'll probably be blooming later in the year. Along with this one. And lower on the tree, that's a Skinneri Cattleya. south wind blowing on the lake today. It's high noon, essentially. These are some orchids on the tree. I had to be very careful when I was clipping this tree, which I did yesterday, as you can see. That one's not clipped yet over there. This one is. And I did it yesterday. It broke off the primary floating pole on this one back here, which was doing so well until I showed up. So I put a splint in it, right there, to hold it together, and maybe the wound, the broken bone, which is right in here, will heal over time, and she'll get to bloom. They usually don't bloom until later on in the fall. The rest of them do alright. Some Kansas, which is these two orchids here that I've taken out of pots and just planted. I didn't plant them, I just set them there. You can see the round pseudobulbs on the orchids. They're an indigenous orchid, so grow almost any place around here. Not too much trouble. The rest of them are doing alright. That one there blooms about that there. It's got a blooming shoot. So maybe it'll kick out something. As well over here. You can see that over here, as a result of this morning's rain, we have quite a bit of water laying around here in the exterior. Orchids, of course, love, especially the ones that are fastened their roots to the tree. You can see how they go up their little cluster and send their root masses out onto the tree. This orchid is just like the one over there I showed you that I broke on the other tree. You can see the groundwater coming right up out of the aquifer. There's an orchid in here, and it's growing, as you can see. I'll move it over here away, and you can see how it's doing. Hasn't bloomed yet, but there we go. Bananas, I think, have all bloomed and are currently getting ready to put out some more bananas later in the season. I don't know if you can see that guy's next door to me. His bananas are out there and being consumed by the squirrel. There we are. Well, I guess we'll go inside. I've seen everything you have to see, there is to see. Little fishing poles there on the small deck. They haven't been getting any fish out of the lake since, when was it, the algae bloom last winter. Took a lot of them out. Anyway. I guess that's enough for now. Have to keep the air moving around the orchids, especially the ones that are in the shade. Keep the fungus off them. Keep the air moving. So, that's about all for now. And we'll go inside and cool off. Temperature out here is only about 82 today. Humidity is about the same. It's really wet. So, we got almost 15 minutes. We do have 15